All right. Okay. So here's this problem. Uh, how long would it take for Nico to save an adequate amount for retirement if he deposits 40,000 per year? So that 40,000 is the annual payment. There's the annuity payment, and we write that down over here as PMT is equal to minus 40,000. The reason I write it down minus is because we are paying it to the retirement plan. So that's a cash outflow. Beginning 1 year from now, that means like it's an ordinary annuity, and it pays a 12% interest rate. So that 12% is noted here in our variables. And we wish to make this 1 million at a future date. So our future value is 1 million. So how long will this take for us to make it into 1 million? We want to calculate the number of years that it will take. Now, the way we are going to do this in Excel is, if you remember, we have a formula, and that is what I explained in the previous video as well. The formula is NPER, which stands for the number of periods. So when we start the formula with equal, that tells Excel that we are starting a formula. And when we start the parentheses, it is asking for the variables. Now, which variable is it asking for first? That is the rate, which means the interest rate. So we click on that cell. Then, of course, you'll have to enter comma. Only then it goes to the next variable. And that the next variable it is asking for is the PMT, payment, negative number, right? The next value, it is asking for a present value. So we don't have a present value because we're not either receiving or paying any lump sum present value right now. We're just starting the annuity, which will start at the end of the first period. So that present value in this case is 0. And what will we have in the future? We will have $1 million in the future. Okay, so we click on that cell. And then it is asking for the type of annuity. Type of annuity means whether it's ordinary annuity or annuity due. In case of ordinary annuity, the payment takes place at the end of the period. In the case of annuity due, the payment takes place at the beginning of the period. Now, because usually most annuities are ordinary annuity and the payment takes place at the end of the period, if we simply ignore the type and just close the parentheses, Excel assumes that it's the ordinary annuity. Okay, which is the case in our example. I do that and press enter. It gives me the answer of 12.23 years.
Okay.
So that's how we find the number of years.
So deposits can be well, it can't always be counted as payments. Because if they start off,
so they may call these different names like payments or deposits or receipts or whatever, but that is our, like, you will have to break this problem down. It's an equal amount of payment at equal intervals. That's annuity. The payment in the annuity, the annual equal payment, equal payment.
So I'm trying to think. There's, because I think I've seen some questions where it said like deposited this amount and then calculate some other things. But I can't remember right off the top of my head.
Now let's go through the other problems. Maybe you will have it there. If not, we'll find those problems out and we'll solve them. Okay. Now the next question is, Herbert has opened a retirement fund account which pays 7% interest rate. So the best way is to start noting down the variables as they come along. 7% interest rate. So I write that down. Interest rate is 7%, right? And requires 5,000 annual deposit. So if that is annual deposit, that's our payment in the annuity, right? So I noted down 5,000 and I write that as negative because we are paying that 5,000 each period, right? And Herbert will retire in 15 years. So that means our number of years till retirement is 15. We'll be making this payment for 15 years. Okay. What is the maximum annual retirement benefit Herbert can get during his retirement years? Now, this problem is a little complicated. It has two things. Now, one, we will be making a payment of 5,000 for 15 years. And once we get there, we start receiving an annual payment. You
Ah,
know what I mean? So
yes.
we'll have to break this down into two parts. First, we find how much money will we have after 15 years. If we earn a 7% interest rate and we're making a payment of 5,000, how much money will we have? So we find the future value. Okay. Now for the future value, we use the same formula that I showed you in the previous videos. That is FV. FV stands for future value. So equals to FV, and then when we start the parenthesis, it is asking for these variables. What is the first one? Rate,
7%.
right? So 7%, comma, number of periods,
Of the years, 15.
15, correct.
And then the payment
Payment, 5,000,
5,000. There's no
correct.
present value.
And present value is 0
0.
because we're not making any lump sum payment in the present. And what is the type? So you can either write type 0, where the payment is taking place at the end of the period, or you can simply ignore it if it's ordinary annuity. We close the parenthesis and it gives me the answer of $125,645. That means if we make this payment for 15 years, annual payment, and we earn 7% interest on that investment, at the end of the 15th year, we will have this amount in our account. Now, we may have two options at that time. One option is to get all of that money, okay, withdraw it and use it wherever you want to, so you will have that money. The other option that the company offers you, they say, hey, okay, you leave this money with us, okay? And now we're talking about the time at the end of the 15th year. They will say, leave that money with us and we'll be making an annual payment to you.
Okay.
So in other words, that's like your pension kind of thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you start receiving your pension. Now, the next part is, what is the Herbert will retire in 15 years and expects 10 years of retirement life. That means the pension will be received for 10 years. You know, so we write that down for the next part, that N is 10 years, will receive that money in 10 years. And what is the total value that we're depositing with the company now? Remember
future
that
value.
this money, that's going to be the money that we are depositing with the money. So that's why I write it present value at the time of retirement. Okay. So that will be a negative number because we are putting our money with the company. That's our cash outflow. Either we can decide to take it out or deposit it with the company. So that will be a negative number. Again, we continue to receive 7% interest rate. So that rate doesn't change. If it says like you will deposit it at a different rate, then that will be a different story. But this is the thing. Now the question is that what will be our annual payment that we receive for 10 years? For the 10 years of our retirement life. So the same formula, we type the PMT formula because we want to find the payment, the annual payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
We start the parenthesis. It is asking for the rate, so 7%, comma, number of periods is 10. We will receive that money in 10 years. Present value again is 0. No, sorry.
Oh, this would be the
Exactly. Now it's the present value is not 0. It's this number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we are making that payment. And it's already a negative number. What is the future value? Now the future value is 0 because when we reach to the 10th year, we would have finished everything. So the future value would be 0. And we can ignore the type. This is ordinary annuity, and press enter. That means we will be receiving about $18,000 each year for the next 10 years after we reach our retirement. So the thing is that we will continue to pay 5,000 for 15 years. And at that time, when we retire after 15 years from today, we will start receiving our pension, and that pension is going to be about $18,000 a year for 10 years. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that was probably a little bit of the complicated questions. The others are not any difficult.
That worked out really good.
Okay. Now number 3, this one. What is the rate of return on an investment of 16,278 if the company expects to receive 3,000 per year for the next 10 years? So now
Hold
in
on
this case,
1 second.
Mhm.
So the 3,000 per
Mhm.
year will be considered a payment.
Exactly.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm starting to. Oh, it's right here. I didn't see that. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, you can break it down yourself. I mean, like let's do
Okay, good.
let's do that. Let's do that. So what is the present value in this? What is the rate of return on an investment of 16? So that is our present value because we are making an investment of 16,200.
16,000.
And this should be a negative number because we are making the investment, so it will be a
So that's
cash outflow.
outflow.
Yeah, so 16,200 and
78.
78. And the payment is, as you said, that is 3,000, right? Because we
Yes.
expect to receive 3,000 per year. So we type 3,000. And for how many years? For 10 years,
For
right?
10 years.
So N is 10. Now, what is the implicit interest rate in this case? Now we use the rate formula of Excel, equals to rate.
Mhm.
So it asks for the variables. Number of periods, 10, comma, payment is
It's 3,000.
3,000, comma,
And then the common and the
future
present value
present value is this
is
one,
16. Mhm.
comma, future value,
0.
0, correct. And
Type
we
is
close the
0.
parenthesis. Yeah, type a 0 or just close it. So it
Okay.
assumes a type 0. Yeah,
I'm
both are
using
good.
0.
And we press enter. So that means this investment is actually offering us a 13% interest rate.
I see that. Okay.
Okay, so the way we analyze the situation, like let's say you have got $16,000, 16,278, and a friend of yours says, "Hey, okay, give me this money. I'll be paying $3,000 to you for the next 10 years." Okay, and you would be wondering whether this is a wise investment or not. Now you would look when you do your calculations, you find out that this person is offering you 13% interest rate. And you will look at the market interest rate. How much is the market offering you? Let's say that the market interest rate is 15%. Okay, then you wouldn't go for this investment because the market is offering you 15% while this person is implicitly offering you 13%.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is the other way around, let's say that the market interest rate is 10% while this person is offering you 13%, then this would be a good investment, given that both opportunities have the same risk. Remember, if it is a friend of yours, maybe you would never know. Depositing your money in a bank at a lower interest rate might be much more profitable, secure as compared to lending your money to a friend, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you'll have to weigh. But if both the investment opportunities are equally risky, and one is offering you a higher interest rate than the other, then you would go for the higher one. Make sense?
Yes. So that was good.
All right. Now let's go to this one. This is not one of your questions, but I just made it up. I thought you probably will need this kind of question as well. Now this is talking about a bond. If you buy a corporate bond in the market, so the bond pays of not pays. It should be has a face value of $1,000. Now, do you know what the face value of a bond means?
Current value?
Uh, so when you buy a bond in the market, you basically there's a value written on the bond, and that is what we call the face value of the bond.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the bond, let's say the bond matures in 5 years, you will receive the face value of the bond. If it is a $1,000, you will receive $1,000 from the company or from the government if it is a government bond. That is what we call the face value. And because you will be receiving this money in the future, we can also call this as the future value.
Oh,
Okay, so we can denote it as FV, which stands for face value, and at the same time, it also stands for future value, if you would like to think about that in that way. Okay. And it pays an annual coupon at the rate of 10%. So that is the coupon rate. Now, what is a coupon rate? Coupon rate of a bond is the interest rate that it pays you each year. So in this case, that is 10%. What that means is that when you buy this bond, you will be receiving 10% of its face value each year. So 10% of the face value would be how much? What will be the coupon amount?
10%.
That would be coupon.
Oh, the actual amount itself would be, wait,
Yeah. Mhm.
900? Wait,
That
no,
would,
or are you, wait, I'm sorry, I'm confusing this. What is the question?
so if this bond pays a coupon rate of 10% and the
So it'd be
face
100.
value 100, exactly. So
Okay,
that,
okay, sorry, I was confused. Oh,
so we simply multiply the face value with the
right,
coupon rate.
by the rate.
And that is correct. That's 100. Now, see, if you hold this bond for 10 years or 8 years, you will be receiving $100 each year. Isn't it the payment in annuity that we talked about in the previous problems? That's
Yeah.
the same thing as payment, right? So what if we write it down as PMT? Correct?
Mhm.
There shouldn't be any issue. And it says if it has 8 years to maturity, so that means we have n is equal to 8
8.
years to maturity. That means if you buy this bond, you can hold it for the next 8 years and you will be receiving $100 each year. Okay. And at the end of the 8th year, when the bond matures, you will also receive $1,000 when you return the bond to the company. Okay. And then it says that the market interest rate is 7%. So rate or the market interest rate is 7%. That means that in the market, like as you know these days, the market rate, mortgage rate is 7%, right?
Yeah. Okay, so,
So like you can say, well, the interest rate in the market is 7%. The question is that what should be the price of this bond? If you're taking a decision to buy this bond, what price should you pay for it? What should be a good price to buy this bond? That means we basically are trying to find the present value
the
of the
present
bond,
value.
correct? So we can use the present value formula, okay, equal to PV. It is asking for the rate, which is 7%.
Okay, so the coupon rate
Then,
wouldn't matter in this situation because we use a coupon rate to find a payment.
yes.
Okay.
So sorry, what did you say?
No, I was saying the coupon rate wouldn't matter in this situation because that was used to find the payment amount.
Exactly. You are absolutely right. And the number of periods would be 8.
8
Payment would be
be 100,
100. Exactly. Future value
1,000.
1,000. And then we can ignore the type, or we can write a 0 for type 1, whatever is easier for you, and press enter. That means if you pay $1,179 for this bond today, it's a good investment at 7% interest rate.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yes.
Now, you may know that but that will make the discussion a little more complicated. So let's leave it here to make it simple. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So you also had a question about semi-annual payment, right? Let me
Yeah.
yeah, so the next question that I have made, it is the same bond, but the only difference is that in this question number 5, this bond pays the coupon amount every 6 months instead of every year.
Every
You know
year.
what I mean?
Yes.
So
So where where we have 8 years, but
mhm.
we would have to, I guess, double it because it's being paid semi-annual.
So we not double, but half it.
Half, okay.
So if it were paying $100 per year,
Got you, it'll be $50. Wait,
it
sorry,
will
give me
be
the part.
$50 every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
Got it? And the 6 monthly interest rate would be then
Should be half.
half of that. And also, what would be the number of periods?
So that's what I wondered, if that should be 16.
Exactly. You were absolutely right.
Okay, so that one I figured out, but
Mhm.
the others,
Okay. So
okay,
now
so
let's break it down. Now,
okay.
so future value is the same, 1,000. Coupon rate is 10%, but that 10% is per year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me write that down. This is a annual,
Annual,
right?
but it needs to
What
be
would
5%.
what would be coupon amount? Coupon amount would be 1,000 multiplied by the coupon rate, but divided by 2. Make sense?
Yeah,
And if we enter it, it will come out to be 50.
correct.
Make sense? Okay. Number of periods would be, as you said, number of periods are 16 because now we'll be receiving 16 payments instead of 8 payments. So that comes out to be 16. What will be the interest rate that we use?
Which should be half.
Half of that. Exactly. So that should be equal
3 point.
to, or yeah, 3.5%. No, 350. Okay, it's already in percent. Or let's do it this way. Equals to 7 divided by 2. Must behaving something like weird. Let's make it a number. And let's do our own percent here. Something weird is happening here. Percent and 3.5. Yeah, that's correct now. About 4 if we, you see that? 3.5%. So that means if it pays a semi-annual coupon, now it's the same bond. The only difference is that it pays the coupon every 6 months instead of waiting for the whole year. So in that case, the present value comes out to be $1,181.
Mhm.
And you see that other value with the annual payment was $1,179. So that means like the semi-annual payment bond is a little more expensive.
Yeah.
Because you earn the interest on interest more frequently. What is the difference? The difference is that value minus this value, and
You
that
might,
is $2.27, right? Make sense?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the kind of problem that you might be having. Is there any other variation of a problem that you're thinking about?
I feel like I probably should have asked some questions in reference to chapter 6.
Mhm. So no worries if you don't have them ready yet. Figure them out as you previously sent me an email. Send me an email, and we'll sit together again.
I was gonna say, because I really got to get through chapter 6. I can't,
Yeah,
because the
if you have
exam.
them ready.
Hmm?
Yeah, if you have them ready.
Well, most of them were a lot, like answer, true, false, and just fill in. And I can't recall too many calculations.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, so if it doesn't require any calculation, I think that would probably require a little bit more of reading kind of
yeah,
thing. But yeah, if there's anything, just let me know and we'll
okay.
try to.
Yeah, this will be good. I'm just trying to slowly but surely make my way through. Well, I did quiz, whichever quiz it was. I think I didn't do bad on that.
Mhm,
Um, so I might take it again and then just take the exam, because I know this is all due on Thursday, right?
mhm. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Anytime, if there's a problem, just let me know and we'll sit together.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I will also appreciate you taking the time.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
And
Okay.
one more hint for the yeah, but I think that's okay. That's not a
Okay.
problem. We already covered that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
gonna share this recording with you as well, just in case you want to watch it later.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
Take care and have a good night.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye bye.
That's all. Can you go see what that is?